My name is Hayley, I'm 21 years old and I'm a second dan black belt in Taekwondo and assistant instructor to Hogan's Institute of Taekwondo. In total there are 20 belts in Taekwondo, ITF Taekwondo anyway. The colour belts range from white up until black, and that's 11 of them, and then there's a further 9 black belts which go from first dan, second dan, all the way up to 9th. I've competed in a couple of competitions which involves, weigh-ins and making sure we're in the right category, and then we get competed in things like sparring, patterns, demonstrations and breaking boards. I've been an assistant instructor to my Taekwondo school for about 5 years. As assistant instructor I usually tutor the Tigers, which says I'm 4 years old up to mid-teens, or anyone of any age of the minor belt, so that's white up until green. Each training session is about 2 hours long, so we start off with the first 15 minutes with a warm-up, so that's tag or running or something like that, then a bit of stretching, and then we focus more on sparring patterns or self-defence techniques. I think self-defence is highly beneficial to anyone really, especially with crime levels being what they are. It's comforting to know that at least those of us that do martial arts can take care of themselves if need be. I think there is a major issue of crime amongst young people at the moment. I think part of it is with all the games and movies that they're playing or seeing, a lot of violence in it. I think if they spent more time doing a disciplined sport like martial arts or football or anything like that, would definitely decrease the crime levels. They'd be spending more time getting their aggression out in a more healthy way. I think it would be useful for children to have a bit of knowledge in self-defence. I think a lot of parents out there would be more comfortable with their children going out at whatever time of day, knowing that they could do what was required to protect themselves. Parents come to us at training sometimes and say how much of a positive impact Taekwondo has had on their children. They say that they're more focused in their schoolwork and they appreciate the friends that they've made at the club, and their fitness has come along wonders as well. Taekwondo has increased in popularity a lot over the last decade. I think it's really good as well because it kind of encourages the minority gender to get more involved in the sport. So with Taekwondo it tends to be more male, but obviously more females are getting involved. I think the funding which schools will be receiving this September to change the PE curriculum will be a perfect opportunity to get Taekwondo more involved in schools, because you can try and advertise it a lot more and pay for instructors to come in and spend time with the students. I think that will help calm down the behavioural issues in schools. I think the kids will be more focused in lessons and they'll learn how to get on with each other a lot better. I think there should be a broader variety of sports involved in the PE curriculum. I think that kids will get more involved and they'll be less bored by the same games like football and netball. They might want something that's a bit different. I think if students did Taekwondo, they would see a positive difference in their grades. I think they'd achieve a lot more if, especially people who are a bit restless and disruptive in lessons, they could focus their energies into Taekwondo, and then they could, concentrate a bit more in lessons. If schools feel like they can't integrate Taekwondo because of the lack of space or an appropriate hall or something, I think the funding from the Olympics could help transfer the students via coach or wherever, or renting out another hall separate. I think martial arts would help people with disabilities as well, especially children who are struggling. I think even disabilities like dyspraxia or dyslexia, a lot of people do find it quite frustrating that they can't sort of communicate properly, but they can try and exert those energies and frustrations through something like martial arts. I think doing Taekwondo whilst I was at school was highly beneficial for me. I was more focused in my schoolwork, I had a better social life because I had friends outside of school, which was always nice, and my fitness and mental health was always good as well. In Taekwondo, in my training, I look up a lot to my instructor. I've known him for 10 years, since I was 8 years old, and he's kind of helped to bring me up in a way. And I also like Jade James, who represents Great Britain in the Olympic Taekwondo team. I think she's pretty cool. We're the same age and same weight and category and everything, so I compare myself a lot to her and what she's done.